Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Carey, and I am the class coordinator for the 341st Basic Training Class and a senior instructor of police at KLETC. At this time, I ask that you join me in welcoming today's graduates, the 341st Basic Training Class. Members of the 341st Basic Training Class, and ladies and gentlemen, please rise or remain standing and direct your attention to a joint honor guard comprised of members of the University of Kansas Police Department and the Lawrence Police Department for the presentation of the colors and the playing of our national anthem. Honor guard, please post the colors.
Honor guard, prepare to post colors. Post. Officers, attention.
You may be seated. During your time at KLETC, you have all walked past the Wall of Honor numerous times. The Wall of Honor was designed as a reminder of those KLETC graduates who have died in the line of duty. The names and photos of the 29 individuals memorialized preserve their memories and give family, friends, and law enforcement officers the opportunity to remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the citizens of Kansas. At this time, join me in observing a moment of silence to honor those 29 KLETC graduates that no longer are with us. Thank you. Basic Training Class 341, well done. Today is a day of great pride and accomplishment. You have faced the challenges of the Academy with strength, determination, and focus. You've been tested physically, mentally, and emotionally, and you've emerged ready to serve. But with this graduation comes more than a title. It brings responsibility, and as you move forward, 3 core principles will guide you in this career: professionalism, continual learning, and integrity. Let's begin with professionalism. Not just how you present yourself, but how you carry the badge day in and day out. Professionalism means showing up, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It means being the calm in the chaos, the steady voice in conflict, and the example others can rely on. Whether you're on a call, in a courtroom, or simply walking a beat, you represent something bigger than yourself. You represent your department, your community, and the values of justice and fairness. As General Norman Schwarzkopf once said, the truth of the matter is that you always know the right thing to do. The hard part is doing it. Professionalism is doing the right thing even when it's hard, even when no one thinks or thanks you for it, and especially when no one's watching. Next, let's talk about continual learning. The Academy taught you a lot, but it didn't teach you everything. Out in the field, things don't always look like they do in training. The calls are more complicated, the people are more unpredictable, the challenges are more nuanced. To grow in this job, you have to be a student of it every day. Stay curious, seek advice, learn from your partners, from your community, and yes, even from your mistakes. Because the day you think you've learned it all is the day you stop being effective. Take the extra course, ask the extra question, read the report, review your body camera. And most of all, listen to those you serve and those you serve beside. And finally, integrity, the foundation of public trust and the soul of this profession. Integrity isn't something you say, it's something you prove over and over again with your actions. It's choosing what's right over what's easy. It's reporting what really happened, not what's convenient. It's standing up even when you stand alone. Law enforcement is built on trust, and trust is fragile. It can take years to build, seconds to break, and a lifetime to repair. As author C.S. Lewis said, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. Remember this: people may forget your name, your rank, or your badge number, but they will never forget how you made them feel or whether you treated them with honesty and dignity. So today, as you graduate and take your place among the guardians of your community, I leave you with this: carry yourselves with professionalism because your conduct reflects on all of us. Commit to continual learning because this profession never stops evolving. and lead with integrity, because your character is your most powerful tool. You are now more than officers. You are role models, leaders, and public servants. Wear that badge with pride, humility, and honor. Congratulations, graduates. I'm proud of you. It is now my pleasure to invite Director of Programs, Doug Schrader, to the podium to introduce today's first commencement speaker.
Good afternoon. Before I introduce our first speaker, I do want to acknowledge one VIP in our audience of many VIPs and administrators, and that is I'd like to welcome Kansas University Dean Day from the School of Professional Studies. Welcome, Dean. Our first speaker, Dan Hawkins, has represented the 100th District of Wichita area in the Kansas House since 2013. Before joining the ranks of House leadership, Representative Hawkins served as chair of the House Health Committee. He was elected majority leader prior to the 2019 session and served 2 terms in that role until he was elected the Speaker of House prior to the 2023 session. Representative Hawkins has been a small business owner since 1991, a husband, and a father of 2. He served in the Kansas Army National Guard, 35th Division Artillery for 12 years, and served on the board of directors for Higher Ground and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Representative Hawkins holds a Bachelor of Science degree from Emporia State University. Please welcome to the podium, Speaker Hawkins.
Well, first, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to speak here today. It's always an honor to honor Kansas' newest class of law enforcement officers. People who know me, especially up in Topeka, the people who know me know how important to me 2 groups are: the law enforcement officers of the state of Kansas and our National Guard members. And for me to be able to come here today and express my gratitude to this group is an amazing opportunity. I want you all to know how much I appreciate your service as law enforcement officers, and I want to congratulate you on this great achievement on your graduation day. As we all head into Memorial Day, I'm reminded of the great sacrifices you all make to defend our safety every day. Thank you, and thank all of your family members for the sacrifices you make or that you will make over the years of their service. Your bravery, dedication, and grit are what allow the rest of us to enjoy holiday weekends like this. You are truly the heart of what makes our communities a community. I'm reminded today, a little off of my speech, but I'm reminded today, this week I went to Grinnell. On Wednesday, I went and witnessed all of the happenings in Grinnell from their certainly horrible tornado that hit them. But I was so impressed with the sheriff's office there in Gove County. That sheriff's office was doing great things. The emergency management people were doing great things. And the community from all over the state, when I say community, I'm talking about all over the state, 700-800 people came into that town to help them clean up and get their lives back together. And the law enforcement were a big part of everything that was going on, from highway patrol to the sheriff to the police and various other folks. It was just amazing seeing them come together. And like many of you know, when you dedicate yourself to something bigger than you, there's truly nothing that you can't accomplish. As Speaker of the Kansas House, this was not something that I actually looked at as something I wanted to do. I never had any idea that I would even do it. I tell people it never was a dream. It wasn't something I dreamt of growing up or even in my adult years. But when you get into politics, things happen. And certainly, timing is everything when it comes to politics. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Now it's up to me to make everyday work and to make my service to the state of Kansas count for something, just like you will as your service to the communities that you serve. I was very passionate about the issues that politicians of that day were espousing, and I wanted to go up to Topeka and I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to represent the folks of the 100th District. So I got up every day early. And when I say early, most people think that's 6 o'clock in the morning. No, for me, that's 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm an early riser. I still don't get to bed until 10:30 at night, but I get up early every morning and I start to work. When I go to the State House, I'm usually the first one there in the parking lot. 6:30, I'm there every single day. And people know that. And people know that I'm accessible. And so they'll come in at those early hours of the morning sometimes because they know that may be the only time during the day that they may be able to get a hold of me because of my busy schedule. But I've become known for that. You will become known for things that you do in your community. You just want them to be the greatest things to represent your community. You know, today, in finishing up, today I look at the law enforcement in maybe a much different way than other people do. Some of you have family already in law enforcement. I have a son-in-law that's a cop in Wichita. He's done some great things. He's on the SWAT team. He's on some type of a narcotics team. I'm not sure what that is. He actually doesn't talk a whole lot about it. And I've gotten to know several of his superiors, and I said, you know, isn't it kind of strange? I said, Chris is a guy who is kind of unassuming, doesn't talk a lot. He's actually kind of a quiet guy. When he's at my house, he doesn't say a whole lot unless you ask him. And that's not what people think about when they think about law enforcement officers. They think that they're, you know, really outgoing and that they're tough guys. And he doesn't necessarily look like a tough guy. And his captain said, but that's why we love him so much. Because he's not one of those guys that like you see in the movies, but he gets the job done every day. And people respect that. People will look at you in many, many different ways over these coming years. And you never know exactly when they're going to look at you and say, that person is doing a great job. They're doing what's right for the community. So you always have to do a great job. Because today, people are looking at you. We get these phones shoved in our face all the time. You're going to get the phone shoved in your face a lot. And that's the reason why we always have to be putting our best forward for the communities that we serve. And if we do that, then you'll uphold the strong tradition of the law enforcement agency that you represent. I look forward to seeing 10 years, 15 years, how you're doing in your law enforcement career. And I think you will all do well. Congratulations on this day. Enjoy it, and hopefully your families get to enjoy it with you. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce you to today's second commencement speaker, Ed Hudson. Ed Hudson is the Vice Chancellor for Information Technology and Chief Information Officer for the University of Kansas. He has been with KU since 2022, leading efforts to define and implement organization-wide information technology, privacy, and cybersecurity policy and strategy, as well as leading information security investigations and response. Prior to joining KU, Ed served as the Chief Information Security Officer for the 23 campuses of the California State University system. Before his higher education career, Ed held various private sector senior leadership roles in data encryption, web application security, and network security organizations. In these positions, he led complex investigations regarding external and internal network security incidents with Fortune 500 companies. Ed began his technology career in law enforcement, having served with 3 different agencies as a patrol officer, detective, and investigation supervisor. Ed was a founding member of the Northern California High-Tech Crimes Task Force and holds a bachelor's degree in information technology and a master's degree in public administration with a concentration in leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Hudson.
Wow, that's some nerd resume right there, isn't it? Mr. Speaker, Dean Day, Director Beck, Class 341, it's my pleasure and an honor to be with you all here today. I love coming down here to KLETC and seeing the beginning of the careers of a career that I started years ago. For those of you who might have been in the back and didn't see the little bit of a titter that was going on here when we got seated, I am indeed wearing Batman socks, and that was what came to the attention. I'm not saying that I'm Batman. I'm just saying that Batman and I have never been seen in the same place at the same time. So you decide. I asked Chatbot, that paragon of knowledge that we all refer to today, how to write a great commencement speech that would be fitting today. And there was a bunch of things that you don't do. You don't talk about the weather, which I just did, but has been a topic today as we look forward. It talked about making sure that the focus was on the people that you're celebrating today. And it talked about not trying to foretell the future and to opine on the paths that you all would be taking. And that drew me to one of my favorite management and leadership gurus, Peter Drucker, who says that trying to foretell the future is like driving down a Kansas country road at night with the lights off, looking out your back window. And has been said here today, it's impossible to know really where we're going. I started my career as the nerdy, geeky patrol guy who had a computer at home. And here I sit today, having the honor and privilege of sitting in front of all of you. And I won't tell you how many years ago that was. It was after Sir Bobby Peel, but a pretty far place in the back. One of the things that I try and remember as I go through, and you've heard great advice today, you're going to get more. There are agreements that we make with the society around us that we have no control over. And there's a book called The Four Agreements written by Don Ruiz, who talks about this. And you make agreements to speak the language of the country that you were born in. You make agreements to behave by the rules and the social norms and societal norms of where you are. And you have no control over that. You were born into it. You were pressed upon it. But what he talks about is making 4 agreements with yourself. And I want to impart that with you today. It's advice that I have found really beneficial. And the first one is to be impeccable with your word, which on its face seems really, to be aligned with integrity. But it means speaking what you say, saying what you mean, keeping that word. But it also means not speaking ill of others, not gossiping, and most importantly, not speaking ill of yourself. We have a lot of self-criticism that I'm not smart enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm not good enough, a lot of imposter syndrome. So part of being impeccable with your word is how you treat yourself as well as others around you. The second agreement that he says to make with yourself is to don't take anything personal. And I never found this to be more true than when I was a police officer. People don't know you, you don't know them, but we are all living a projection rather, of the world as we have been born into it. And so anything that anybody does is not about you, despite how personal it can seem. And so I just try not to take anything personal. The third agreement is to not make assumptions. And I think this is really important being a police officer, is let the evidence speak for itself. But it also means that you ask for clarification and you ask for what you need and for what you want. What you need to get, but what you want is always negotiable, right? And the fourth one is to do your best. And your best will change day to day. If you wake up and you're energized and the day is really good, that's going to be a good day. Your best may be way up here. But if you wake up tomorrow after celebrating tonight, your best might not be as good tomorrow. If you wake up and you're not feeling well, if you're ill, your best might not be the same. But every day, do the best that you can do to the best of your ability. And I have found those to be really good rules. So ChatGPT says, make sure you impart some wisdom. There's your wisdom for the day. But I want to leave you with 2 really important things that I have found. And these rules were imparted to me, or these ideals were imparted to me by my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Avaskovich. Try saying that name as a 6-year-old. You can see where that goes. And this is an absolutely true story. There were 2 things that Mrs. Avaskovich would tell me when I was a 6-year-old. And it was, attitude, Mr. Hudson, is half your grade. And the other one that she was really good at was, Eddie, keep your eyes on your own paper. And those are the two best pieces of advice I ever got. Class 341, it's an honor to be here for you. Honored guests, it's a privilege to get to be here in front of you all today. Congratulations for your accomplishment, and thank you all for your time.
I'd just like to take another opportunity to thank Speaker Hawkins and Vice Chancellor Hudson for their message to the graduates today. At KLETC, we recognize those student officers who have excelled in various professional skill sets during their basic training. For the 341st basic training class, they understood the importance of fitness being a key component in an officer's life. It helps them deal with daily stress that they'll face and aids them in maintaining a healthier lifestyle, enabling them to better mitigate the dangers they may encounter. During their time here at KLETC, all members of the 341st were active and engaged in a fitness routine. The 341st basic training class had 3 student officers meet the goal of the 200-mile club. To be recognized as a member of the 200-mile club, the student officer must have completed 30 push-ups in a minute, 30 sit-ups in a minute, and run a mile and a half in 18 minutes or less. Additionally, they must also have logged 200 miles or more outside of their classroom activities. Would the following officers please stand to be recognized? Deputy Ragsdale of the Chase County Sheriff's Office, Officer John Simpson of the Iola Police Department, and Deputy Soltero of the Gray County Sheriff's Office. Please join me in recognizing these officers. Deputy Soltero, Officer Simpson, you can be seated. Deputy Ragsdale, will you please join me at the podium? Deputy Ragsdale completed the most miles with 316 and showed the most improvement from the initial assessment to the final assessment. For his efforts, Deputy Ragsdale is being awarded the Fitness Medal. Please join me in recognizing him. KLETC also recognizes those student officers who have excelled in academics during their time at KLETC. I would ask Deputy Ragsdale of the Chase County Sheriff's Office and Officer Simpson of the Iola Police Department to please stand. Deputy Ragsdale and Officer Simpson have achieved the following criteria to be graduating with honors: a 90% or greater overall written test GPA, 90% or greater written final exam score, a 90% or greater overall performance test GPA, a 90% or greater overall performance final testing score, and a minimum of 100 miles of walking. Please join me in recognizing these students for their efforts. And you both may be seated. It is now time for the class president to deliver a few brief remarks on behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 341st Basic Training Class President, Officer Andrew Knudsen with the Kingman Police Department.
Good afternoon, classmates, family, friends, and KLETC staff, and honored guests. Today marks the end of one chapter in our careers and the start of something much bigger. For the 18 of us in Class 341, these past months were not just about learning laws and tactics. They're about proving that we have the strength and the fortitude to be here. We come from all walks of life: military veterans, EMTs, dispatchers, and even a dental hygienist. We may come from different backgrounds, but now we all share the same goal. Each of us have made the decision to step into this profession. A profession that is not easy, one where a single call can make you a hero to some and a villain to others. But we knew that when we signed up. This job is under extreme scrutiny. One mistake can make headlines, and doing it right often does not. That's the weight that we carry. Throughout our training, we learn the importance of enforcing the law, but also building trust with the people we serve. Because an officer without the support of the public is not truly an officer. Sir Robert Peel said it best: the police are the public, and the public are the police. That truth has not changed. We do not stand above the communities we serve, we stand with them. Because public trust is not given, it must be earned every day, with every call, every stop, and every contact. We're not here just to wear the uniform. We are here to protect the vulnerable and serve with integrity, even when no one is watching. This academy tested every one of us, mentally, physically, and in ways we did not expect. We learned to work as a team, complete investigations together, and to rely on each other when things got tough. One lesson that stuck with me throughout this academy was when we arrive on scene, the first priorities are very simple. Stop the killing, stop the dying. That mindset changes everything. It reminds us that with behind every call, there are lives on the line. And while our time at KLATC ends today, the real work is just beginning. Because in this job, learning never stops. Training never stops. And the moment we think it does, that's when people get hurt or worse. Complacency kills, and we must fight the urge to ever think this is just a routine call. To our families, thank you for your patience, the support, and the sacrifices you've made to help us get here. To our departments and our leadership, thank you for your trust and for giving us the opportunity to represent your agency. And to the instructors at KLATC, thank you for preparing us with the knowledge and mindset that we will now carry into every shift. In closing, I'd like to reflect on one of the most humbling reminders we had while here at the Academy: the Wall of Honor. 29 names, 29 people who gave everything and did not come home. They answered every call knowing it could be their last, but they answered it anyway. That's the legacy we carry now. Every day on the way to class, we walked past it. Whether we stopped or just kept moving, it was still there. That wall demonstrates every day the harsh reality of being the barrier between order and disorder. So moving forward, we will do the job, we will do it with pride, and we will do it with purpose. Because others gave everything wearing this badge, and we owe it to them to carry it. Thank you. Congratulations, class.
Officer Knudsen, on behalf of the KLATC administration and staff, it's my pleasure to present you with this plaque in honor of being the 341st class president. Thank you. You can be seated. In law enforcement, ethics is at the forefront of training in our profession. The law enforcement oath of office affirmation is a constant reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. This is something that we've discussed in depth during your time here at KLATC. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. A law enforcement officer assumes a great responsibility when they affirm the oath of office. They have entered the position of being role models, leading by example. They are enforcers of the law and protectors over our communities. I'll now ask Class President, Officer Andrew Knudsen, to lead the class in reciting the law enforcement oath of office affirmation.
Class 341, please stand. Oath. On my honor, I will never betray my badge, my integrity, my character, or the public trust. I will always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Kansas, my community, and the agency I serve. Recovered.
Class 341, please be seated. In a few moments, you'll be presented with a challenge coin. A challenge coin is symbolic and meaningful and given to someone as a reminder of what they have done or to confirm membership in an organization. This coin today will recognize you as graduates of KLATC. I ask that you carry it with you as a reminder of the lessons learned and the friendships forged during your time here at KLETC. On the back of this coin is the oath that each of you affirmed just moments ago. Carry it with you and let it be a constant reminder to always do the right thing. Graduates, it has been my honor and distinct pleasure to be your class coordinator and a small part of your journey. I wish you nothing but success and happiness in the future. I will now ask KLETC Associate Director of Basic Training, Alvin Sowers, to join me on the stage to present the members of the 341st Basic Training class with their certificates. Class President Andrew Knutson will announce their names.
Front row, please stand. Officer Jackson Adams with the Pittsburgh Police Department. Deputy Kyle Crum with the Logan County Sheriff's Office. Officer Jacob Franco with the Newton Police Department. Deputy Sandra Holloway with the Butler County Sheriff's Office. Officer Cedric Hooks with the University of Kansas Medical Center Police Department. Officer Caleb Laughlin with the Park City Police Department. Front row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Second row, please stand. Officer Kyle Mandeville with the Kingman Police Department. Officer Brandon Nungesser with the Wichita State University Police Department. Officer Trace Petit with the Fort Hays State University Police Department. Deputy Michael Ragsdale with the Chase County Sheriff's Office. Officer Bailey Rainwater with the Valley Center Police Department. Second row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Third row, please stand. Officer John Simpson with the Iola Police Department. Deputy Angela Saltera with the Gray County Sheriff's Office. Officer Dakota Spangler with the Newton Police Department. Officer Adrian Springer with the Goodland Police Department. Deputy Jonathan Taylor with the Bourbon County Sheriff's Office. Deputy Griffin Vesper with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
And Andrew Knudsen of the Kingman Police Department. Third row, please return to your seats. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, especially family from the graduates here, I encourage you to ask your graduates after graduation to take you on a tour of the campus, talk a little bit about the training, and there's lots of photo opportunities across the campus. Out in the front, we have a statue back in our courtyard, and we have a banner back in the back of the room. There are plenty of opportunities. Also, I might mention that our store is open after graduation for approximately an hour. If you'd like to get some KLETC branded souvenirs on your way out. And those that have been to our graduations before, you might notice that we had 2 guest speakers today, and that's because today is a pretty special day at KLETC. This morning, in this auditorium, we diverted from an outdoor activity to an indoor activity because it was forecasted to be rain, and it didn't. But we had a groundbreaking ceremony for a new portion of our campus. So it's a special day, and we would ask that you join us in our social media sites and watch us grow. And we will enjoy the time and the opportunity that you all give us to serve the state of Kansas and our communities. Class 341, would you please stand? On behalf of Director Beck, I hereby certify that each of you has successfully completed the requirements to be Kansas law enforcement officers. They've been waiting now 14 weeks and a few minutes here to say class dismissed.